time for more of the Rod Pedersen Show.
It absolutely is. Welcome back, everybody. We are coast to coast on Game Plus Television, and big news today. If you missed it, the CFL announcing that they and the XFL have called off talks. They're done. They are no longer pursuing a collaboration nor a merger, and that's what we're talking about today. And also, the Stanley Cup Final tonight. Game 5 goes down in Tampa, and we got our flag going here. We are not popular in Tampa. As I have read the messages from Tampa earlier, that's okay. I'm sure I'll sleep just fine tonight. Craig Smith is with us, our Director of Scouting, two-time Grey Cup champion. How you doing, Smitty?
Doing well.
Listen, everybody wants to know your XFL, CFL take. And by the way, that's our poll question today for Capital Auto Mall, Universal Collision Center. How do you feel about the news that the CFL and XFL have broken up? And on Twitter, more than 70% saying they're happy. They want the CFL left the way that it is. And on Facebook, pretty much identical, 79% saying they're happy. But Smitty, I need your take on the Stanley Cup playoffs. Why not? It's game day. Habs and Lightning tonight in Tampa. What's happening?
Well, which one? Which one?
The hockey.
The hockey? I think Tampa's going to win, and I think they're going to be celebrating tomorrow. But I'll tell you, every series that Montreal was in, the first one. Down 3-1, came back. Mm-hmm. I never thought that they were going to sweep the Jets. Jets are obviously my team. And, they've just kept on coming back. And, that doll that you have on there, number 31 there, he's been obviously a big part. If he comes big, you just never know. And you just never know. That's why they play the games, right? So, but I think Tampa's going to win tonight, but we'll see.
We'll all be watching.
Absolutely.
Yeah. 6 p.m. Mountain face-off from Amalie Arena tonight.
That's a great place for hockey, man.
Isn't it?
I love it.
Yeah, everything about that facility in that city is great.
Yeah.
We'll come back on all of this, and I welcome everybody in with their comments on everything, this game tonight, and also the CFL, XFL news. I'm looking at my computer here for the comments. Jennifer down at the Four Seasons says, I honestly didn't care. I just want football back. From Chris Bird in Toronto. He says, CFL, XFL merger talks break down. Twice failed expansion attempt by the CFL. He's just getting a little dig in there because that's what everybody's saying about the XFL. I've said much ado about nothing, a waste of everybody's time. Having said that, it gave us a lot to talk about over the last 3-4 months. I will say that, but in the end, maybe we shouldn't have expected anything else. But here's our football aficionado. Your take, Smitty, on the news today.
Well, when I saw that texted out this morning, I had a smile on my face, and I was not a big fan of that. The only way I would like to have seen that is if they kept the Canadian ratio. And I was talking to somebody that's in our league, and he was saying, and he's an American, he was saying that, there may be a chance that they may be able to do that. There was some sort of a lawsuit with regards to immigration and stuff like that. So I went, okay, well, I wouldn't mind that. Obviously, I don't think that you could have had the same ratio with 18 teams, but at least have, where Canadian kids could at least play pro football down the road. As far as the rules, if they modified the rules, I'd have been okay with that. But the big thing for me was to make sure that the Canadian players were able to play pro football again. So yeah, like I said, let's get this the CFL thing going. Owners, put your money where your mouth is. Let's get rolling with regards to this, and let's make this league strong, and hopefully we can just keep on going for years to come.
My good friend Peanut Butter Pete is watching from the energy capital. He said the CFL is and always has been a premier league, has never gotten the credit it deserves for the quality of the game. Tonight's game all depends on Carey Price. He can single-handedly win the game, but Tampa's got a lot of firepower. #GoHaps. That's from Peanut Butter Pete. I was reading the NHL public relations website this morning, and they said the Lightning are averaging 4.07 goals for per game in these Stanley Cup playoffs. 4 goals a game the Lightning are averaging at home. It does all come down to Carey Price tonight. Hopefully the price is right. The rest of this series is going to come down to Carey Price. Yes, sir?
I'm in the pool.
Ours?
In your pool.
Yeah.
And I only got 2 guys left, and it's Stamkos and Point.
Yep.
And they have done nothing the last couple of days.
No, they haven't.
But hey, That's the way it is.
What is your ranking in that? I'm 147th.
I'm 107, I think.
Nah, you're a scout.
Yeah, I was 89 for quite a while, and then my guys have done nothing. Mm-hmm. And I don't have anybody on Montreal, and
Well, I don't know what it's going to take. I picked 2 of the final 4 teams left.
Wow.
And still don't have a sniff of winning this pool, but that's okay.
Yeah, I'd like to see what some of those winners have picked. I'd love to see those teams.
Did you see the Seattle Kraken jersey in the lobby here, by the way?
Oh, I didn't. I'll have to take a look at it.
Can you see it, Kathy? It's right in the lobby. That's one of the prizes the winner's going to get of our Stanley Cup playoff pool here. Anyways, back to the football, by the way. Of course they called off the talks. That's the thing. I mean, they want you to concentrate on this season. They want you to buy tickets for this season. But what do you think, Smitty? The comments from the fans and the viewers have been as interesting as anything. Like, somebody said to me, no surprise when they're trying to concentrate on this season and sell tickets that they wouldn't explore this any further. But do you think they get through this season, praying that they do, and then we hear it again? That they start talking about it again?
Anything's possible. That's
right.
For sure. Here's the big thing: money. That's the big thing with our league. If we've got money issues. I've really liked what you said ever since this show started. The CFL was a fantastic product. We have other issues with regards to it. Mm-hmm. So if we can keep this product going, if we can get the marketing going with regards to, getting people out, and then that's what we need to do. We need to get bums in the seats, and hopefully they can do that this year. Hopefully with the vaccinations, it'll be able to allow people to go there without any fear. I have a fear about going into crowds. I don't think I'll be going into a crowd for a bit, but obviously I'm in a little different situation. But and the thing is we didn't have football last year. I think a lot of people are just so starved for the Canadian Football League that I think that they'll head out there and they'll be able to see our fantastic game, our good product.
Sprinkling in comments from our viewers as we go. Chris, watching in Toronto, says it would be so good if the Ontario CFL teams could coordinate games and tickets with the OUA, which is the Ontario University Athletic Association, and give us more exposure to up-and-coming Canadian football players. The problem with that, sorry, Smitty, but and Christine says, she says, more fans equals more money. Marketing is key. But the thing is right now, for the CFL in 2021, it's not about marketing. It's about playing. That's it. Like these ideas should have been done years ago.
Absolutely.
And that's a little bit of what Arash is saying right now. This whole XFL thing was just a complete waste of time. They should have spent the time and the money and the effort in fixing what they have now.
I totally agree.
And from what I can see, they haven't really done that.
Yeah.
Lauren Smith in Kamloops, he says, I tuned out all the CFL, XFL speculation. I never saw much substance to it. Well, we could never agree on whether it was even a good thing to be talking about it or not. You see the poll results today, over 70% of you are happy that the CFL and XFL have elected to break up. They're happy that the CFL is going to stay the way that it is. And my thinking is, what is it? What is it? It's a damn shrinking league. But having said that, and we're just sitting here having coffee today in a BS session with Smitty, a guy that stayed in the Chateau Champlain many times with your lovely wife, Kathy, and we were talking about that before it went there.
I don't think
she didn't say that?
No, I was because I'm a Marriott guy. They gave me
It is a Marriott, but anyways.
It is a Marriott. They gave me a penthouse suite, and it had a piano in it.
Oh, yeah.
And it had a where you can have a meeting. I mean, it was incredible. They gave me that because, I have so many points or whatever. I stay in so many. But it probably was close to where you were doing your show.
Yeah.
Way up there. It was pretty cool.
We were on the top floor. And so speaking of that, I see the CFL fans are chiming in from coast to coast because this is the CFL show, and I appreciate that. They've got their thoughts on this XFL, CFL news today, plus the season coming up. But if we give Montreal hockey, if we can say that nobody does hockey like Montreal, then we're sitting here in the football capital. Can we say that out here in the middle of the prairies? Mm-hmm. And the people here are tremendously excited about that August 6th game, the BC Lions at the Saskatchewan Roughriders. I mean, tremendously excited. And people are saying to me a lot, are you going to go to the game? I haven't decided yet if I'm going to go to the game or not. I have not decided yet. But when I was in Montreal, Craig, for 5 days last week, there was quite a bit of talk of the Alouettes. Like I was, you ever been to McLean's Pub on Peel Street?
No.
It's right up from the Chateau Champlain. I guarantee you would have seen it.
Yeah.
And there's a nice little patio out there, and we're sitting on there, and the bouncer was talking to a buddy about the Alouettes this year. And I was trying to talk to DuPont. He's like, shh, I want to hear what they're saying. It was all about Vernon Adams and Kahari Jones. So you know that they love the Alouettes in Montreal.
They're great football people out there, like the whole province. I mean, they have that CEGEP, which is before university, and they have a great league there. They have a great university program all over the place. Laval, Montreal, Sherbrooke, etc. It's fantastic. And I used to go there and scout. And I would sit in the stands, in Montreal, or be up in the beautiful press box in Laval, and other places. And they're very, very strong. They also like to have a few drinks, a few beers at the games too, which is pretty cool. But they're very strong with regards to football, and they. I remember hearing people, same thing, talking about, hey, maybe the Als might win it this year. You never know.
Right.
This was a few years ago. And so, I think they're pretty good as far as football is concerned.
Comments coming in like crazy. I appreciate those watching on Facebook and YouTube as well as those on Game Plus TV. Jonathan Kinder watching in Kansas City. He says, I don't know how much more I'll listen after the Cup. I listen for the NHL and XFL since Kansas City doesn't talk much of either. So what do you say? You came here for Stanley Cup talk, and once the Cup's over, you're not going to watch the show anymore? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Not at all. Especially if we read your comments on the air. We're the heroine of sports talk. We just give you a little shot.
Yeah.
And then you're hooked. Jeff, the Stamps fan, says, you haven't decided if you're going to the game, Rod? I would think it would be a given that you're going. The bracelet says 1 day at a time. I'm just trying to get through today. The game's in a month, so we'll figure that out down the line. Regarding the CFL, XFL plans up in smoke, Armando Moreno watching in Mexico City says, so should I just forget about the Mexican team in the Continental Football League? Yep. It was all a wild goose chase, potentially a contrived plan, and...
But the good thing is there's some global kids that are coming to training camp, and some of them are Mexican kids. So that's a good thing. You can follow those kids, and we'll see what happens there.
Hey, just answering questions here, and we'll take a break and come back with a sports update. Jonathan Kinder says East Coast Hockey League talk would be nice too. It would be nice. It would be nice. But this is a Canadian show, bruh. And we have some CHL news coming up in our sports update, by the way. But the East Coast Hockey League, although we did have, is Brendan Kotick, right, Clark? South Carolina Stingrays coach on last year. My whole plan in this pandemic was to adopt a team in the ECHL. For all of us to adopt a team, like we did with the Korean Baseball League last year. Yep. Just didn't get out of the gate. It just did not get out of the gate, especially when the NHL started playing. I love the new viewer in Kansas City, Jonathan Kinder. He says he would like us to talk about the East Coast Hockey League, and he'd like us to talk more about the Stanley Cup, but not so much about the XFL, because Kansas City doesn't have a team. You're new, Jonathan. Here's the deal. I do the talking, and you do the watching. That's how it works. Right, Smitty?
Yep.
You know that. Everybody knows that. So if you're welcome to stay, but that's the deal. It's the Rod Pedersen Show. We'll be right back with a sports update, a little more viewer takeover because it's fun today. And Ricky Collins Jr., Toronto Argonauts wide receiver, coming up in hour 2 as well. You're watching on the Game Plus TV network, YouTube, and Facebook Live, and 24-hour sports radio for Suds Full Service Car Wash at rodpedersen.com.
You're watching Rod Pedersen on demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.